22nd. I guess the Lord had me in the right place, the right time, with the right commitment. I was president of the Selma City Teachers Association. And then we had agreed that, and I persuaded teachers for the first time to engage in a teachers' march. And so we agreed, after they signed their names to a petition, that we were going to march as a teacher group. And so on January 22nd, we met at Clark Elementary School here, which was the school where I attended the first grade through the sixth grade. We met upstairs, and we marched up a file. My partner was my 10th, 11th, and 12th grade science teacher. His name was Mr. A.J. Durgan. He was the incoming president of the Selma City Teachers Association. And we led that march, teachers, for the first time in the United States, coming down the steps of Clark Elementary School, down Lawn Street, down to Alabama Avenue, down to the courthouse. Teachers, for the first time. Getting down to the county courthouse, that was standing next to the steps, the superintendent of education, the chairman of the board of education, to persuade me, because I was a teacher, to take the teachers back to the school because we had made a point, and that no longer should we try to pursue that right from that particular point. And I told them we had a right to be at the county courthouse. It was our courthouse. We were not backing down from our right to be there. And I asked the superintendent and the chairman of the board, who signed my check, to step aside. We went up those steps. Jim Clark had his deputies across the door, and he indicated that we were trying to make a mockery out of his courthouse. And we indicated to him that that was our courthouse also. He gave us 1 minute to move off of those steps. At the expiration of that minute, he took the billy club and jabbed us down the steps on the sidewalk. And my partner, Mr. A.J. Durgan, who, as I said, was my teacher, he was not quite used to that stuff like I was. And he asked me on the ground, he said, "What shall we do?" I said, "We are going back." He said, Yeah. And so we went back the second time. We jabbed down the steps after a minute, and he asked me the same question. I gave him the same answer, and he gave me the same response. The third time, when I really was trying to get all the teachers arrested, because teachers were not aware of the tremendous influence. They were the largest black professional group here in Dallas County. And so after going back the third time, he said, "If you don't go up these steps," Jim Clark said, "we're going to arrest you." I said to myself, "Exactly what I want you to do." And so at about 45 seconds before that minute expired, someone on the inside of the courthouse came and pulled him on the inside of the courthouse door and said, I didn't go in there with him, but I can imagine what they told him. "For goodness sake, don't arrest those teachers."
That's right. That's right. What's going on? Welcome to the Lineage Podcast.
What's going on?
Yeah, glad to be back. Glad to be back. MJ Reese, Allen Reese Sr., we are here. It's another Thankful Thursday. Great to be here. So you already know how we do it. If you don't have the Selma Self-Sacrifice book, please get it. It's on Amazon. You can search that. If you haven't booked the tour, www.fdreesefoundation.org, and you can book that. Also, if you haven't purchased any apparel on History on Apparel, please do so. I got one of the shirts on. It's a little one of the first batches. So yeah, we are the Lineage Podcast. We are here. If you don't know why it's called the Lineage Podcast, it is because we are the direct lineage, the grandsons of the Reverend Dr. Frederick D. Reese, the man, the chief orchestrator of the Selma voting rights movement. And we say it with our chest. If you don't believe it, or if you think it's the truth, just hit us up. We also have artifacts to back this up. not only with pictures but artifacts, different stories, and the FD Reach Day just passed in Selma, Alabama, March 21st.
You know what? And my thing is, if you don't know, I guarantee, and I ain't gonna say 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna say 10 out of 10. Once you holler at us and we break it down to you, you will know that what we're saying is truth.
Right. Book the tour. I'm telling you.
That's all I can say.
Yeah, you'll this is not your normal tour. It is an unorthodox tour. We can have great reviews, and the end of the tour, they are always shockingly at all, that our grandfather don't have more recognition or any recognition that he deserves. So it was great. We spoke at Narva J. Harris, was it last week? Had a great time with the kids. We spoke 4 classrooms, one first grade classroom and 3 fourth grade classrooms, I think.
And 1 fifth.
It was 1 fifth? Okay.
2 fourth grade, 1 fifth, and 1 first.
Right. Had a great time. I must admit, had a great time. The kids were very receptive to us. Of course, we brung pictures, and that was my brother's idea. Once he did that, we went to Cedar Grove.
That's right.
Got to do it at Narva, and it works well. And they were pulling us up and pulling Granddad up on their computers. Man, times have changed.
I know.
Times have really changed.
They checked our credibility right then.
Right then.
Yeah. Like, okay, y'all talking this. We finna get on our laptops and see if y'all telling the truth.
Right.
Once they went to Google and went to Wikipedia, they was like,
it's over with.
It's over with. The looks on their face was priceless.
Right. Right. It was great. That's one of my favorite things to do, is to speak to children and teach them the knowledge. But we're gonna speed this up. Before we get to first nurse Kimberly Reese, y'all know she's gonna drop her jewels. Unfortunately, we lost another pioneer. Especially dear to our heart. He was a family friend, and I'll say personally, I would not be the singer I am today if it weren't for this guy. He passed away a week ago today. It was a week ago, April 27th. I showed a picture with him and Alan. So you see how Alan looks, so you can tell this is history here. Pastor Don Thomas.
Yeah, Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop Don Thomas. If you ever heard the song "Anointing Fall on Me," that was his biggest song, but he had many others that really spoke to your spirit. But besides being a great musician and a great singer, great man, he was family to us. So we're really gonna miss Bishop Don Thomas. That was it struck different when bro told me the news. So that's gonna say something about
Bishop Don Thomas, man. When we're talking about flowing,
man,
setting the presence. To allow the Holy Spirit to move. He taught that to us. And we was able to sit here at his feet. I was able to sit at his feet since 12 years old.
Right.
And learn so much. When I was minister of music at Zoe, remember Zoe was doing devotion and no praise and worship. And what I would say is that we implemented praise and worship at Zoe. And at first, people were skeptical of going to praise and worship.
Right.
And those people the ones that was against it loved it.
Right.
And I can truly say that was because of Bishop Don Thomas.
That's right.
The teachings. And man, I'm getting full now, man. It's been a rough week.
Yeah.
It was just my spiritual father, man. Taught us how to be sensitive to the spirit. He taught us how that the spirit is always the worship leader.
That's right.
And to be able to flow. And he was able to teach us how to be young men, man.
Correct.
Some of the things I won't go too deep, but some of the things he shared with us during young men Bible study helps us today. And I'm telling you, it's a great man that we're gonna miss, but heaven gained a great man.
Yeah, man.
And we can't say enough about Bishop Thomas. And we always say Bishop Thomas never got the credit that he should have had. And we're talking about a man who was world renowned.
Right.
Around the world that's respected.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, a couple of weeks ago, I texted him before the podcast, and I just told him I love him. And he said, I love you too, man.
Yeah.
And I love that text message, man. And I'm gonna miss Bishop Dunn. But what brings me comfort is that the things that he instilled in us, it's up to us to continue it.
Correct.
Give it to the next generation, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because, man, he let me grow as a musician. I started out with the keyboard with the speakers on top.
Right.
And I didn't have an amp. And he said, Alan, sit behind me.
Yeah.
And play.
That's right.
And I learned, MJ.
Mm-hmm.
I learned. So when people see me today, I try to play like my auntie Valerie, her style, because I've listened to her so much.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about hands-on training, man, that man, bro.
It's like no other.
Like no other, bro. Nice. So you can Google Bishop Dunn Thomas, man, on a song, Anointing Fall on Me.
Yeah.
He wrote different songs with Andre Crouch. I know he and Andre is able to see each other again now.
Right.
Commission was his band.
That's
when
right.
He went on tour back in the 80s. He was just a blessed man not only to the music industry, but the gospel industry, man.
Right.
And we're gonna have a hallelujah time tomorrow, in honor of him. And I'm just gonna miss Bishop Dunn.
Yeah. And he gave us our break, the Allies of Christ. See,
that's right. When they didn't want us to rap.
They didn't want us to rap.
That's right.
He gave it to us. Even as a singer on the praise team, I was a young guy. He let me groom and become a great singer under him.
Y'all went to a conference with
Derek Coley.
Derek Coley.
That's right.
Man,
that's right.
It just let me tell you, you can't go to school and get what he taught us.
You can't, bro.
Years.
You
over
can't.
25 years, bro.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? What we was able to have, you can't go to school and get that.
Can't.
And we're gonna miss him, man, deeply.
Yeah, we're really gonna miss him. Really gonna miss him. We'll talk more about him after First Nurse, but we're really gonna miss him. Rest in his presence, Bishop Dunn Thomas. So y'all know we're gonna bring First Nurse Kimberly Reese up. So y'all don't go nowhere. 30 seconds, we're gonna bring First Nurse Kimberly Reese up. So y'all stay tuned.
Yep, yeah, I can.
What's going on, Ken?
Hey, MJ, how you doing?
What's up? Doing good. How you doing?
Good.
Let me go ahead and get out your way. Let's go ahead and get into Drop Them Jewels for us.
Hi, everyone. Happy Thankful Thursday. I'm here to give you your weekly dose of health information. As you guys know, last week's show was canceled, and I was planning on talking about stress because April is known to be Stress Awareness Month. I like to talk about the mind, body, soul, and spirit. So I'm going to tap into the mind and talk about stress. Why stress is important? Why is Stress Month so important? Stress can be debilitating and it can cause and aggravate health problems. Every April, healthcare professionals from across the country join forces to increase public awareness about not only the causes, but also the treatments of growing stress epidemic in our country. There are 3 types of stress, you guys. Stress does not merely afflict your mind. It can also affect you in your cellular level. In fact, long-term stress can lead to a wide range of illnesses, from headaches to stomach disorders to depression, and can increase the risk of serious conditions like stroke, heart disease, and many others. Understanding the mind, stress, and health connection can help you better manage and improve your health and wellness. So the first type of stress I want to talk about is acute stress. Acute stress is usually brief. It's also most common and frequent episodes. Acute stress is most commonly caused by reactive thinking, negative thoughts, predominant situation, or events that can have recently occurred or upcoming. So examples of acute stress, it could be such as being stuck in traffic, getting prepared to go to make a presentation at work. So those are examples. Being in an argument with your spouse or your kids or loved ones. That's an example of acute stress. Next, we're going to talk about the chronic stress. Episodic acute stress. People who frequently experience acute stress or who live lives present with frequent triggers of stress have episodic acute stress. The individuals who frequently suffer acute stress often live a life of chaos and crisis. So, for example, episodic stress, most people, when you're going to shop during the holidays, that's acute stress, but then again, it's more drawn out. Then acute stress is more longer, so it's episodic stress. You're trying to prepare for a wedding. You're a sudden death, and now you have to plan a funeral. That's stressful, but it's not going to last long as chronic stress, but it's a little bit longer than acute stress, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The next type of stress is chronic stress. Chronic stress is the most harmful type of stress. If chronic stress is left untreated over a long period of time, it can significantly damage your physical health and deteriorate your mental health. So examples of chronic stress, a long drawn out illness, like battling cancer for years and years or for 6 months or so, having health issues, multiple health issues, having bad finances for a long period of time, a bad relationship with your kids or spouse that's ongoing. That's chronic stress because you're continuously going through that. Even a bad relationship with a boss, that's chronic stress. So those are examples of chronic stress. So now I'm going to go over ways to manage your stress. Ways to manage your stress: exercise, relax, and have fun. With exercising, you want to exercise 20 to 30 minutes a day. Walking is great stress reliever and a good way to get your mind off your daily worries. And exercise also has many health benefits, as you guys know. Relaxing, learn to relax. Techniques that can help you relax, such as meditation, journaling, yoga, breathing. Exercises are just a few ways to relax. Also have fun, whether it's going out to your favorite hole in the wall, Bigelow's, Bible study. Learn to just release. Don't be so serious. So definitely have fun and take in the moment and stop worrying so much. That's the way you can have fun. And pick up a hobby as well. Also visit your doctor. Your family doctor is the best position to get you started on the path to a stress-free lifestyle. And you want to make an appointment today if you haven't been. Eat well. The gut and brain are constantly sending signals to each other. So by keeping your microbacteria in your gut healthy, your brain feels less stressed. Number one thing, get good sleep and rest. To relieve stress before bedtime, try some relaxation techniques and disconnect from your technology. I know I'm guilty of this. Before I lay down in the bed, I'm strolling, looking at my phone, my news feed. If you can at least put your phone down 30 minutes before you go to bed, it will help your mind relax. Or turn the TV off, get it quiet, and then you'll doze off to sleep. But if you're always looking at the phone or a light, your mind is continuously running, and that can be stressful as well. So how to combat your stress? If you suffer from chronic stress and can't influence or change the situation, then you'll need to change the approach. Be willing to be flexible and remember the ability to choose your response to stressors. And you may have to try various options. And I want to leave you guys with a video. As a culture, black people, we have been known to endure a lot of stress. And this video speaks about how us as a culture can manage and deal with stress.
To go through life and some of the stressors that you may experience as a Black person in America, you have to show a certain amount of strength. In the Black community, we reward strength, and then we have this limited view of what that means. Therapy is a strength. Crying and releasing it is a strength because it's much easier to say, I don't want to deal with that. When you have to deal with the thing you want to avoid, that's strength. I'm at a point now where my mental health is not negotiable. I wasn't always taught to check in with yourself, see how you're feeling. What happens is that either you're going to learn healthy ways of coping or it may be unhealthy ways. I grew up in Richmond, Virginia with my mom. I'm her only child, her best daughter. My father, we have a relationship, but most of my relationship throughout childhood was seeing him in a prison. In my neighborhood, in my family, I always knew I was going to college. Even as a first generation college student, you take on that pressure, I have to do this. People have expectations of me. And then when you're starting to feel that separation between how people see me and what they want me to do, but I need help. I just started saying maybe 2 years ago, don't call me a strong Black woman. Because I don't have to buy into that, but if you label me as that, you're not going to see me as a human. I felt the need to form Black Mental Wellness because there was a huge piece of mental health missing, and that was the mental health of Black people in America. So when you think about psychology, you think about the theories, you think about the approaches to therapy, it's all based on white people. What we know to be true is that Black people communicate differently. We have different stressors. And I think it's important to know this because trauma encodes itself in your body. And that stuff is passed down. The stressors and triggers that are unique to Black people in America is our whole existence in America, right? How do you show up? How is your hair? How are you dressed? That's so much stress, and that's not even the job. So when we think about the cultural shifts and changes, the last 2 years or so, it just seems like it's now the in thing to talk about mental health, and it's the in thing to talk about Black mental health. I feel like educated Black people, they like to say oh, my therapist said. Every time you say that, you're normalizing that experience for someone else. All of those things breaks down the stigma and opens it up for people. Actionable steps that I share, I like to think about the start of the day. Can you wake up, even if it's 10 minutes earlier, where you can just have that quiet time to yourself? Another actionable step, find at least 5 minutes, go outside and get some fresh air. Because we're spending so much time in our homes or in these enclosed spaces. So many people think that therapy and mental health is for people who are sick. And I want them to know that mental health and therapy is for everyone. There is a space for Black people as it pertains to therapy, and that there's something that we all can gain from being a part of it.
Wow.
All right. And that's all I have for you. And I want to say I got my information from April is Stress Awareness Month from Community Health of Central Washington. So credits to them. Okay. And thank you guys for listening to my weekly health information.
All right. We appreciate you, Kim, all the time dropping the jewels for us. Listen, y'all do not go nowhere. We will be right back. So I'm going to wear the Lineage Podcast.
And I persuaded teachers for the first time to engage in a teachers' march. And so we agreed that we were going to march.
Nice.
First of all,
serving notice on our nation. It's Dr. Frederick Douglass Reese.
We march. We march. We march.
He said, what shall we do? I said, we are going back. He said, yeah.
Welcome back to the Lineage Podcast. Welcome back. We are here. We appreciate First Nurse Kimberly Reese dropping the jewels for us on mental health. And I know a lot of the times in our community, we try to be strong and we try to overcompensate what we need to do as far as our mental, and we need to start putting it out there more. That please take care of your mental health. Take those exercises that she suggested seriously. If you have to get away, exercise, take a break, please do that, because one thing we do know is that our mental state is just as important as our physical. A lot of times in our community, we overlook the mental, and even when some people are going through mental instabilities, we kind of label them as crazy. But we have to take our mental health real serious, and have some self-awareness about it, and get the help when we need it. We got to take that serious, man.
Hey, I thought about something. You remember when Pastor Dunn used to make us put our arms around each other in a circle and sing?
Man. Man.
You remember that?
Man. And you know, another thing, I take this with myself. He always used to say, if you know you are blending perfectly, you will feel this the singers now. When you are blending with someone perfectly, you will feel a vibration. I promise you, I know it might sound crazy. You will feel a vibration here, like from see my fingers and all in that middle. If you're blending perfectly, you'll feel that vibration. It's a lot, man. We can go all day night about what it. And if y'all ever heard this, please look him up on YouTube. It's out there.
Yes.
When I say Gerald Levert times 2, he'll put you in the mind of Gerald.
Yeah.
But then Pastor, with his voice, see, I'm getting technical now. With Pastor voice, Bishop also had a falsetto.
That's right. That's right.
If you know Gerald didn't use it a lot, but Bishop had a falsetto, and that's just the music part. But remember how he used to forget them lyrics up there?
Yeah, boy.
Even the ones he wrote.
And Sister LaVon would be telling him the words from the audience,
right?
You know, and he'll be like, "I know that song."
I wrote it.
He'll get the lyrics. And then, you know, when you mess up, he'll say, "No."
Right, man. And prayers go out to Pastor LaVon, man, and Micah. Yeah. Really, we understand how tough it is to use such a giant of a man that's embedded in your family. So we understand that, but he's going to give us so many great musical memory and teaching memories, and also the comical memories.
Yeah.
And that always kind of puts it at ease. A lot of the times, I remember when I had the honor of singing with him and Keith Stallworth.
Boy,
it was me, him, and Keith. I never forget that, man. I never forget that.
Yeah, man, my best days was playing in the band. You know, we had Mr. Keith on the guitar. God bless his soul. Patrick gone. Rick Callier. You know, Rick Callier was the minister, the MD. Music director for the Barge.
Right.
Yeah, me on bass keys. Boy, you talking about learning some music, MJ.
Listen,
on the spot.
On the spot.
You know what I'm saying? On the spot, man. You talking about a band. Now that was a band.
And we used to do praise and worship for over an hour.
Yeah, that's right.
Easy.
Jam out the church.
Yeah, easy.
Boy, them were the days right there.
Them the days, man.
Man.
But I'm sure we're gonna hear a lot of how he touched a lot of people. I won't be there tomorrow, but I'll definitely be there Saturday. how he touched a lot of people, and his great impact that he left, not only the nation but the world. Please, y'all, if y'all don't know, if y'all haven't, if I know you may not know him, Bishop Don Thomas. Go on YouTube, look it up. I guarantee you'll be blessed. Guarantee it. I put my bottom dollar on it. We got a lot of things to discuss on the show. The show may be a little different today. We'll be talking about more of in the relationship lane type of show today, and we always need that, so we can go different lanes. So now I just read some. Let's talk about the first topic. It's been a few things that happened this week or last week or whatever.
Okay.
We'll start with this one because we ain't got to touch on this one this long, because I just read some other stuff about it. Now everybody know Da Brat and her wife Judy. Now everyone know Da Brat is pregnant right now.
Well, she had the baby.
She had the baby. She had it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's right. She had the baby. Brat is she 40? Over 40?
Yeah, she over 40. Brat's probably close to 50.
Close to 50. Yeah, she older than me. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. She had the baby. Now, at first when this broke, the story was they said that they didn't search for a black donor. Now, reports then came out to say that out of all the 300 possibilities, only one black one was put into the scenario. But this is the problem I have. Okay, if this is just me now, if you want to do you, and it's all up to your decision of how you want to go about that. In in the LGBTQ community, they have to do things a little different than us, which is fine. That's the world we in now. It is what it is. But my problem is, don't roast the black guy because you said he looked like Jimmy the Cricket.
Yeah.
See, my thing is, if you're going to do what you want to do and whatever you need to do, cool, do that. But as our people, we got to stop publicly humiliating our people for laughs and giggles. Because I think sometimes we got to take accountability and realize what part we play in our own demise. So if we talking about ourselves and if we killing each other like me and you have said, then what do you think that people who view us as enemies, how do you think they're going to take us?
Yeah, well, let's be honest. First of all, that response was a cop-out.
Okay.
You could have easily said that I would like majority of other people that we choose. I want to see the black men.
Yeah.
We know that wasn't, you didn't ask
right
for them to be what's the right intentional, let's say that, and putting black men in there. But you knew that you might have gotten some flap behind it. So then you proceeded to say that the one black man that we saw did not look well. That's the reason why we didn't choose.
Because let's be honest, bro. If they wanted a black man, they could have got a black man.
Yeah, that's right. If you want to be intentional. And let's just be honest and say you didn't want, you wanted a mixed baby.
Right.
I can respect that. Right. I might not agree.
Right.
I can respect it. That's your choice. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't have said nothing. But don't come on here and say that what was the word they used? The black man looked like what?
Jimmy the Cricket. That's the
one black man. And how many they went through? 300 and what?
300.
300 and some. So out of 300 and some, you just saw one black man, and he was dead ugly. Basically,
you said no more.
No more. I don't want to see no more black men. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's just a cop out, and the Brat now should be ashamed of themselves. You can go on with your agenda, but like you said, don't sit here and diminish and demean the black man for no apparent reason. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's just my stance on it.
That's facts.
I'm tired of the LGBTQ community going after the black man. Stacey Abrams wouldn't meet with the black men. Now they want to talk about the black man was butt ugly because they didn't want to have a black man as the father. There's some good black men out there, and we as black men need to stand up and speak against this rhetoric that's been going on.
Yeah, because what I will say, look at the numbers. Black men are number 2 in most desirable. Now, and I would believe the only reason we are number 2 is because it's triple or more the amount of white men that are on the earth than us. We're the number 2 in the most desirable, but that's another case. But before we continue, I got to read this.
Be quiet on that.
Mr. Eddie Wilson say, I wish my daughter could have listened to the young lady because she is under a great amount of stress right now. I'm going to tell her what I heard and pray that it will help her. Mr. Eddie Wilson, we are in your corner. We completely agree with you.
We're praying for you too.
We praying, yes, sir.
We speak right now on this show that whatever's going on in your daughter's life, that God right now touch her. And right now she understands that this too shall pass. That's right. Just give it to him and she will be better. We speak against the enemy right now. I believe that right now, MJ, 2 or more joined together in his name.
His name.
Where he is in the mix.
There he is.
This show right here, you know where we stand and what we believe in by right now on what we speak. So Mr. Eddie Wilson, we speak right now that whatever has your daughter stress out, that right now that the Lord will release it.
That's right.
Now in the name of Yahweh Shai,
that's
also
right.
known as Jesus.
That's
we
right.
Pray amen now.
Amen.
We
that's
believe
right.
that.
That's right, man.
The power of prayer. Power of prayer is dangerous.
And Mr. Eddie, please, if you need any resources or whatever First Nurse Kimberly Reese got her information or resources for, you can hit us in the inbox and we'll, amen, there you go. And we'll give it, we'll reach out to you and give it to her. And even if you need us to speak to her or we got some women in our corner that may can help her. Anything we can do, man, reach out to us, man. This is what it's about. It takes a community and a village, and we are part of that. And we all about helping the community and especially our generation coming up. So yes, please. So we speak that. We speak the renewance of her mind or whatever she's going through, man. That this too shall pass.
That's right.
Yeah. You're right about that. But you're right, brother, about that. They going after the black man from every which way.
Yeah, bro, we had the CDC put a study out. So the CDC put their stamp on this. They say black men are not in their kids' life.
Lie.
Deadbeats. But the CDC did a study to say that black men, out of all the other ethnic groups, that black men spend more time with their kids a day, tend to take their kids to the park, tend to see their kids go to bed more than any other race.
Right.
But on one spectrum, they say we deadbeats. I don't get it.
I don't either.
So what happens is when these people, you know, when they're doing these things and the reason they're not choosing black men because they're looking at one side of the story. And that side of the story is on the opinion. Now the CDC tends to do things and bring about facts.
It's factual. Yeah.
So which one shall you believe? I tend to believe that we as black men tend to spend more time with our kids.
Right.
I stopped MJ before the CDC put that out. I stopped believing that because I used to go to the park and I look around. I see all the black men in the park.
Yeah, like what it?
I'm like that. We out here.
Right.
I go downtown. We out here.
Right.
I go to church. We here.
We here.
So that's just, that's just another tactic that they use to separate the black family.
Right.
Right,
because that's the main objective. That's the main objective to separate us, and that's just another. They try to push a certain image upon the black man. If it's an intimidation image when it comes to certain things, and then they try to say we intimidating, we the monsters and all that, and then on the other hand, we are incompetent and we aren't involved in the things that we need to be involved in, and it's just a lie. As the world evolves and more research comes out, you'll see it for yourself and the truth, because you're 100% right. I know a lot of black fathers. And I'm like, look at all these black fathers that are involved in all of that. Like, what are we
Yeah.
talking about?
What
So
we talking about?
that's a lie.
You know,
Do you want to talk about the marriage thing, or do you want to talk about evil?
it don't matter. I don't care.
Well, let's go marriage first. I know you sent me this. Now, this is income inequality by race and gender in the United States.
Mhm.
So now, if
Mhm.
y'all can see this, as you can see, the weekly wages, this is a general consensus here. Number one is Asian males. Now, as you see, number 5, okay, you see Asian males, white males, Asian females, white females.
Mhm. Mhm.
Number 5 is black males.
Mhm.
Then after us, Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander males, then the Native American and Alaskan males, then the Hispanic males. Number 9 is the black females. Then number 10, Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander females. Number 11, Hispanic females.
Mhm.
I have a couple of slides here. This is from April Brasher. As a black woman, I'm growing more and more frustrated when I see some black women tell black men on social media how the men should pay for everything, including the house they live in. Some of these same black women will also ignorantly say, well, white men do it for their women.
Mhm.
You see, the problem with having such conversations is that they are usually rooted in emotion and not data. So let's check the numbers, shall we? Because some of y'all sisters' math ain't mathing. And so she goes down through some things in the median white household and the wealth and high school graduate. But as you can see here, let's just look at this one in the grand scope. Median white household wealth of a white high school graduate is $115,000. That is annually. That's $115,000 a year.
I mean, that average.
That's average. The median black household wealth of a black college graduate. I want y'all to see the difference. Versus a white high school graduate. Now, black college graduate is $51,000 annually.
Mhm.
So since y'all doing all this comparing, according to the data, 70% of white women actually work and contribute to their household.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we can go back to the graph and break it down. What's your thoughts? Your consensus pretty much on this, bro.
But my consensus is kind of long on this one.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me break this down. I hope all the listeners are paying attention.
Mhm.
When you come out of the Emancipation Proclamation and you come in the early 1920s, 30s, and 40s and 50s, you had the teachings of the American dream. Jay, ones who controls the system, painted the picture and put the criteria out there on what the American dream looks like. In today's time, they want the American dream. The American dream is the man bring home all the bacon. The woman stays at home and take care of the kids, and she's a woman of leisure, a housewife, whatever you want to say. But the thing is, what our grandparents understood is that Black people did not have the financial backing to keep up on what the system said what the American dream is.
Okay.
Listen to me now, bro. Because the wealth is not there. You know what I'm saying? Today's time, see, our grandparents okay with a shotgun house. When we talk about the man providing, well, he provided for a home that had 2 or 3 bedrooms. They had a bunch of kids slept in the same room. Okay. Mama worked. She probably nurse, teacher, this, and she worked. But okay, they had one car. Most of the time, if mama worked, she went grocery shopping stuff after daddy came home, or she dropped daddy off at the factory and she went to the grocery store, bought the food, this and that, whatever she needed to do. Okay, now you take that same and see, look, this what we miss when we don't talk to our young girls about this rhetoric about all this praise about this finance. When you talk about the affirmative action, the white woman benefit more in affirmative action than anyone because she was the first minority. So they understood that, okay, for me to continue to have this American dream and make this American dream hard to attain. And you know, you got these Black folks, they too good for their own good, saying, yeah, I got the American, I want the American dream. We're going to put this out there so they can try to be like us. But we ain't got the financial backing.
That's right.
Okay, the white woman went into the workforce. Well, she benefited from affirmative action because she was the first minority. Because remember, white women did not have the right to vote.
Right to vote, correct.
Okay?
Correct.
Oh, but the 1965 Voting Rights Act gave them the right to vote too. See, it just wasn't black folks who benefited from it. It was everybody, even white women. So, but what white women did, they took that financial what they was making and took it back into their home. As the same system who said this is the American dream put drugs and alcohol and everything in our community. Okay, now we know that game, we know that play. Okay, but going back to the man bringing home all the bacon. Okay, now, so in today's time, when you want to talk about what your grandparents had or your parents had and put it in today's time is impossible. See, they was okay with that station wagon. Nowadays, you better you talking about Mercedes, BMW, all them. Tell me, where is the wealth in the black community for the man if he's not part of the 1-2 top 5%? Where is the wealth, the daily, weekly, monthly, yearly wealth that he has to have a 2-car, not just a Nissan Sentra in an old truck? We talking about a Cadillac Escalade in a CLS 550 or a S550 or a GLE 430. Where is the backing for that man to do that?
Right.
It's impossible, bro. And so now what they saying now, if that man can't give you this, he does not earn the respect that a man, now he's not providing. Well, granddaddy provided. Where he had a shotgun house. Grandma was okay with the station wagon. With
correct.
A used car.
Correct.
Nowadays, that's not what it is. And let's be honest, when you talk about far as pay grade, the pay grade ain't moved that much. It ain't moved that much, bro.
It hasn't.
But everything has gone up. So now even the white man and woman has had the financial backing to have that 2-car American dream. Wife can work part-time, whatnot, she work full-time, have a nanny, you know what I'm saying? Get a tutor and all that. Where is in the black community? And so when we talk about reparation, some finances coming into the black community to fill that gap so it can put us on a level playing field. Then you got people say, oh no, you got people like Dr. Fields saying no, black people don't deserve reparation. Well, we can't attain what y'all consider the American dream because the 300, 400 year free labor y'all got from us. Where is it? Where is the finances, MJ?
Right.
So when you break it down and make it stupid simple, what can people say? What can you say?
Yeah, bro.
Back in the day, than mine having less. Okay. Now, remember, when they went on vacation, they drove Six Flags. They went to the beach. Now you got to take them to countries you can't even name. You can't even name them. You got to fly them out first class. This, and I thank God for my wife does not have that mindset. She has the mindset of her mother, her grandparents. What I'm saying is that if you, in today's time, they got to get flown out first class. You got to put them in the best hotel or Airbnb. You got to do stuff that the movies show.
Right.
Where is the wealth, MJ?
Right.
Where is the wealth?
Well, as we see, it's not there. One.
It's not.
Two, and we can dive a little bit deeper. Let's pull this graph up. Now, I will say this. I had a job while I was doing low voltage electricity for Meta. I left a job last year. And I will say this, and it's not talking down up on that. I seen, now look who's at the very bottom. It says Hispanic females. Number 8 is Hispanic males. Now, you can see it's a 548 per week and a 616. So you're looking at that's 52 plus 16. So you're looking at a 70-some dollar difference between a Hispanic female and a Hispanic male, right? The black male and the black female is about the same. Black females is 611, black male 680. So you're looking at around almost a $70 difference. It's about the same. Now watch this difference. I've seen when I worked at IES, I worked at previous jobs, I've seen the Hispanic females work with their husbands on the job and go home, give that man the same amount of respect. Give that man the same submission. Give that man the same thing, right? So what I'm saying is it's systematic, and they have embedded a certain mindset to our women in our culture.
I'll let you finish. Because
I really think, just like you said, where's the finances to have this mindset? We 300, 400 years behind. How can you compare black men to white men when we see it's a $227 a week gap, just median? So you get almost $1,000 a month just off rip. And then once you add the system, man, like you said, the white high school graduate gets $115,000 and the black college graduate get $51,000. Well, it's a lot of things you can break down with that.
Well, MJ, and to be honest with you, and if I can be totally honest and talk to the man, the black man and woman, both, it is possible to obtain. But both mindsets has to change. Now I'm gonna get on the man too. Now, granddaddy, he brought the bacon home. Different time. Okay. Granddad used to come home, get his beer, pop it. I know, I'm not talking my granddad, but pop it, watch TV, this and that. Mama cook, clean, got the food ready, wash clothes and stuff. But now, since women are working, men got to come home, wash them clothes sometimes. Men got to come home and do them dishes sometimes, MJ.
Right.
Sometimes men got to come home and run that vacuum. What I'm saying is that because that things have changed, we got to work together. Because she out there working too, just as hard as you. You put in 40, she put in 40. You put in 50, she put in 50. It's not fair that men sometimes thinks that they can go to work and come home and do nothing. And then she come home and she got to tend to the house. That's not fair. I think y'all got to work just like y'all working outside the home together. When you come inside the home, ain't no such thing as what men don't do. Men got to start cleaning up the house and taking some of this load off the woman too.
I got to be a balance now.
It got to be a balance all the way around, bro. It can't, because I see a lot of men sit here and say, "Yeah, well, you want what your grandmama had," but then if granddaddy wasn't letting grandma go work, hey, she was at the home cleaning. But if y'all want to travel, you want that Mercedes and that Escalade, you want this, you want that, you want this and that, and she out there working too. Well, you gotta have that same mindset when it coming to the house. You can't just come take your boots off and chill. Hey man, go and throw some of that meat out, get ready to cook it. Put it in the oven, put that season it, put some aluminum foil over, put it in there.
And you know what I'll say, and I'll say this. I'll just use my house as an example. You know, I'm transparent. Now that the work that I do pretty much work for myself.
That's right.
Now I contribute more with my wife now than when I was working at a dock.
That's right. Both of us have been on that, but that thing killed you. But I ain't gonna lie.
Right. So what I'm saying, just to piggyback on what you're saying for the men out there, because I know that will be one of the pushbacks. Well, I work 60 hours, she worked 40, and then my job is
a little bit more hard.
Physical, way more, double the physical amount as her. But what I would say is y'all can come to a median. Okay, he can't do equal of the house.
That's right.
You know, but he can contribute to it.
But because he got to look at a time away from the home, it don't matter the job, it's time away from the home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to take that in consideration.
Correct.
When she's away from the home, it's not like that she's there.
Because if she was there doing those
It'd be
jobs,
done. It'd be done all the way.
right? So
you know,
yeah, you got to say that. So now that my job, now that my line of work now is less physical stressful, I have way more energy contribute, and it's much better. So I think if more couples came to kind of a median, because I know one couple that I really disagree with. Check this out. When the man come home, she works. When a man come home, he got to get 2 hours where nobody can say nothing to him.
what? That's not good leadership.
Alan, 2 hours.
2 hours that no one can say nothing to him. No, 2 hours. Kids are nothing. Come on, man. You know, I walk in the door, I ain't getting 2 minutes.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
You know, that's what I'm 2 hours. MJ, you lying. 2 hours.
I swear.
Oh, he walk in the door at 6. Can't nobody say nothing to him at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Man, he ain't no man, man. I just don't see that as good leadership skills.
My dog.
You know, men, when we talk about leaders, you know, that right there is not good leadership skills because your wife needs some time, your kids need some time. They want to tell you about your day. You the man.
Right.
You chose to have a family. You chose.
Yeah. Walk in it.
Hey,
Right.
leadership,
Right.
walk in it. You got to walk in the door. Sometimes you walk in the door, they right in your face. Okay. Hey, how was your day? You know, you don't get no time. Leave me alone.
And to be honest, bro,
When men look at women, because I can look at my wife when she walk in the door, I say, okay, this is not the time.
yeah, and I'll say this for me. Now, I'm not saying, you know, not to bash him, but what I'm saying is, honestly, when I was working at OD, working them 60 plus hours a week, when I came home, I actually wanted
That's right.
my daughter to hug me at the door. My wife,
I miss
kissed
my family.
right, because it eases the stress of now. So if they got to give you 2 hours, then it ain't that job. It ain't the job.
The job.
It ain't the job.
Now is a relief. You know, your wife hit you at the door with a hug.
There's all the stress gone.
With some food in the hand, like, baby, take this, let go.
Yeah. Work gone. It gone. Work gone.
Well, men tend to do a better job than not bringing work home anyway.
Yeah.
For women.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what time he need. And I work some jobs. I worked on a dock. I'm talking about 15-hour days on the fourth mill. And on the freight. I ain't talking about no warehouse. I'm talking about freight.
Yeah.
That's different than warehouse. Freight.
That's different. Yeah, not different.
You know what I'm saying? So
not working no idea.
God has blessed us now to work for ourselves, but at the time, man, we were humping and still doing this and being the leader of your family, head of household, whatever you want to say.
Right.
You know, when you talk about leadership, bro, it's you have to be able to lead, bro.
Not to.
That's just lead ain't saying I'm the man.
Correct.
That ain't leadership.
Right.
You have to understand everyone needs time. Everyone needs your attention.
And bro, let's keep it a buck. A woman will follow you, and I can speak for myself, and I know most women. See, you know, I give the women a hard time, but I got to come to their back too.
That's right. We got to speak truth now.
Got to speak truth. If you don't have to be the perfect leader for a woman to follow you. You have to show growth periodically.
That's all. That's it. Growth.
So if you the same man 5 years ago, you losing.
You're losing all day.
If the outcomes of your leadership are still showing within your household as the same it was 5 years ago, if the mindsets in your household is the same, if the insecurities in your household is the same, if the bad habits in your household is the same, that ain't got nothing to do with that woman. That's a lack of leadership.
Lack of leadership of that man. Best believe that.
Point blank.
That best believe that.
Point blank.
Point blank.
So,
ain't no MJ. Ain't no question about it.
Yep.
Ain't none. Look, that's right, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
If your house, I'm talking about your household got to be growing.
My household, kids and all.
Kids and all.
Kids and all.
Yeah.
We talking about leadership now.
Right. Right.
We talking about we ain't talking about just being a man, talking about how much weight you can lift,
Nah.
how many kids you got. We talking about true leadership.
Mm-hmm.
That's true leadership, man.
Yeah. Your family is supposed to be the definition of evolution.
That's
it's
right.
supposed to be evolving
That's
from,
right.
from you to your wife to the children to the dog.
All day.
To the dog, bro. If that dog still boo-booing in the house 5 years later,
Something wrong.
something wrong.
And you a man and you feel like you got to come home and have 2 hours.
2 hours, my dog.
What's wrong with you?
2 hours.
You need to take, MJ, I'm sorry. That man need to take some self-evaluation of himself.
Yeah, bro.
It's something that he need to go get some spiritual, worldly, some type of counseling that he has not dealt with from childhood, from something that has him in this stubborn area in his life that he tells his family every day when he get home from work.
2 hours.
I need 2 hours before you say something to me. Man.
2 hours.
Man, but I wish I would tell my wife that.
2 hours.
Man, the arrogance of you. That's the arrogance.
Yeah, man.
That's straight arrogance, man.
It is. It's control.
That's not man-like. That's not manly.
It's control.
You know, it ain't manly right there, man.
And I hope the person, I ain't gonna say I hope they ain't watching. I hope they are. We can have a discussion. But yeah,
if he is watching, you can hit me up because we need to have. You need to be around some men.
Yeah,
that's just what it is. If we know him, I don't know who he is. If you know him personally and we know him, and he's around our circle, he need to get with us without the women around. He need to be around some men.
Yeah, talk to me
because you failing right now.
Yeah, why you need 2 hours?
Right now, I asked 10 out of 10 real men that once he hit the door, that's raising kids and got a wife. When you hit the door, you need 2 hours for somebody to say something to you. I guarantee 10 out of 10 men gonna look at him like he crazy.
Right.
So if you want to get that right, don't go to women and don't go to yes boys, males. Go to some men who married and know how to raise a family and be leaders of their family and ask them a tough question and see what they tell you.
Yeah,
that's out of line.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But
I'm sorry, man.
That's ridiculous. Let's talk about the last. I know we going over. We talking about 2 hours, dog. 2 hours. It's no lie, no joke. Let's talk about this. This is Eva. Let me take the banner down a little bit so I can read it. Okay, check this out. Eva, Real Housewives of Atlanta, married a successful businessman, Michael Sterling. He adopted her daughter from a past relationship and raised her as his own, along with their 2 kids. Eva filed for divorce and is demanding he pay child support for all 3 kids plus spousal support.
Wow.
Yeah.
I miss feelings on that one. He adopted the baby.
Yeah.
His child. But dog, where is the baby father? Man, that man ain't getting no. Man, it seems like sometimes you do the right thing on the tail end, it seems like you get. I don't know, Jay.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
That's tough, man. I would say this. If I was in her shoes, and I think the daughter is a little old. I want to say she's a teenager. I would if I was in Eva's shoes, I wouldn't have went after
for all 3.
For all 3, because I'll tell you why. When y'all was together, he adopted her. And that's a noble thing to do.
Yeah, it really is.
He didn't have to do that. So and it's not no knock, but a lot of the times that happens when the father is not in the life of the children, and then the mother marries a man who's a stand-up guy and he's looked at as a father and this, that, and the third. If I was her, I wouldn't go after that because he did a noble thing when y'all was together. It didn't work out.
Show him a little mercy, huh?
Show him some mercy, man.
Yeah.
Now for the 2 kids, that's y'all kids. Okay, I get that. I get that. But for the child that was not biologically his, even though he stepped up to the plate when y'all together, show him a little mercy, even if you are allowed to go after him. The noble thing to do would be return the favor, like when he adopted your daughter.
Yeah.
Show him a little mercy. Because I speak for myself. If me and Charlene, me and my wife was to get a divorce, and we have a stepdaughter, which I don't like the word step. Jada is my daughter. I've known her since she was 1. But if that was to happen, that would make me look at Charlene a little weird if she kind of came after me for child support instead of going after her biological father.
My thing is man, I wish that we as Black people stop allowing the court system to get rich off our dysfunction. You know, we have to be able to come together. You know, as a man, you know, you know what it took to run that household.
Right.
You know, let's be sensible. And I believe that man has agreed with you to give you what he was contributing to that household. For your life not to change. I feel like you shouldn't have to go to the courts, bro.
Right.
People don't realize you lose with the courts because he pay his child support through the courts. The courts gets a percentage.
Of course. I know firsthand.
So this is why child support and all this father not being legitimized and all that when the kid's born, especially out of wedlock, this is big money for the courts.
Of course.
When I think if people can be adults and have adult conversations and reason with each other, man, they wouldn't need the courts, MJ.
Well, you know, it's tough, bro, because it's done by design.
Yeah.
And I think if you're going to hold, and I won't say just men, because in some cases the women are the quote unquote non-custodial parent, right? So I would say that if you can kind of make it kind of fair, because what's happening is so lopsided, and that's where the smoke comes, because you can take me for child support, alimony, spousal support, all of that, right? But then I don't have parental rights. In this case, okay, Anastasia said, I'm not sure I agree with that. If he adopted, then he took that child as his own. You don't divorce children, you divorce spouses. The adoption took place because he is the father figure. Okay, Anastasia, so let me ask this. If okay, let's see. Now, did it have to go through the courts? No, but to say he's not responsible for that child comes off as conditional love and support. So let me ask this. So can he still, if she took him to child support for the 2, and then he said if he adopted her, that's his child. Okay, that's daddy. So if he took, that's mama. Okay, if she took him to child support for the 2, but then they had some agreement on the side for the daughter, because I'm gonna say this, bro, because it's a little contradictive, because at the same time, I'm talking about the courts now, right? Because at the same time, let's say you can go file for divorce under any cause now. The woman can just be mad at you. The man can just be mad at you. You can go file for any cause. No, when, like Angel said, you divorce the spouse, you don't divorce the child. He shouldn't have adopted if that's the case. He could have been in the picture without the adoption, right? But see, if it's about the children, that's where this is why I disagree with it, because that's where the gray area is. See, we want to think about the children, right? You say it's about the child. And then, but when divorce comes, it's about the mother. Because if it's strictly about the child, he can do what he wants if his heart is in it, right? And he said, well, I'll give to her college tuition.
But
I'll give to this.
Well, my thing is, don't to respond to Anastasia and Mama, sometimes adopting kids, even though he did the right thing, but what if something would have happened to Eva and he didn't adopt her? So if something happened to, now you have a chance that the state can take the child and determine. It's almost like marriage. It's almost like this is why you don't have kids out of wedlock. Marriage, before marriage, when you're married and you have a child, where something happened to the mother, the father automatically get that child. Or something happened to the father because the woman is married and you have kids that the mother can get government help. If they was in the military, she can have say-so of the beneficiary of the will and the insurance policy. She has more authority when something happens, when she's the wife, if something happens to the man. So from a man who's looking at the order of my family, okay, yes, adopting a child might not be if it goes left, might not be in my best interest, but if we get a divorce, but for this child to be safe and still be up under my structure, it's best for me to adopt them. Because if something happened to the mother, I'm the adopted father. I would think the mother at the end of the day would take that in consideration when she goes to the court and says, you know what, that man did what was right. I want to do what was right.
Well, right. Let me read Anastasia. She said you can be a stepfather without adopting. If he adopted a child, it became legally his own. And no, he is stepfather. The state will not immediately get the child. If any family is available, then that is a preferred option. Now watch this.
That's what I'm saying.
Now watch this. So the child is legally his own, as Anastasia said. Now, so then why is it that if, let's just say, the child is legally, let's just say, out of wedlock, then why don't men get legal rights to the child, though legally they take money for child support? Mm-hmm. See, what I'm saying is because it's so lopsided that now when you start thinking about the man's best interest, you get pushback, right? Mm-hmm. But if you think about the woman's best interest, it goes in line. But they saying it's the child's best interest. It's not the child's best interest, right, bro. Mm-hmm. It's not, because if it was the child's best interest, you can make the case, or you can say, I'll agree to tuition. I'll do this. But by Eva saying, oh, we know what time it is, by she saying, not only am I going to get child support for the two, but now that good deed that you did,
gonna come back and hurt your
pocket. It's gonna come back and bite you. So then when men don't step up, why do they get criticized?
Men gonna start making business decisions before they
Thank you.
That's what's gonna happen, because they're gonna say, when things go left, I done seen time and time again that it's not in my best interest. So now through Eva's situation, you're gonna start seeing less men adopt kids, even though they love the child.
Right.
So, hold on, babe, I'm not gonna adopt you. Because this foolish woman over here, when she act crazy, when she act a fool, that percentage of my check gonna go up.
Because Alan, let's keep it a buck.
So, but you can't. She said the family can come with an agreement. You can't come with an agreement with a mad woman.
You can't.
That's why the court's got to be
right. And it's so lopsided, bro. That's
lopsided.
And see, that's my whole point.
Yeah.
My whole point is, if the system was fair, I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
If the system said, hey, you get adoption, you're going to get visitation, you get all rights to the child, you get, but
if I was a judge, I would sit there and I say this, okay, Eva, what we going to do, you made some money. Okay, even if I hold responsible for the 3 kids, you ain't going to get spousal support. She going to take whichever one is best for her.
Thank you.
And so I guarantee the judge say, since he adopted this child, the father ain't doing that, so we're going to let it be the 3 kids without spouse support. But if the spouse support is more than that one extra child, she going to say, nah, forget that child. Let me get the spouse support. This is
And Alan, that's why my sentiment is the way it is, because you can't expect fathers to, I'm gonna say this, you can't expect men to do good deeds
if it's gonna hurt them on the tail end.
If it's gonna hurt them on the tail end, and you're saying, well, you shouldn't have did it,
You shouldn't have
But
adopted the baby.
You should
Like,
adopt
why
the
would it
baby.
was just for the family.
Right.
You was loving on me, and you agreed with me. Now that we getting divorced,
All that's out the window.
all my good deeds out the window.
But see what I'm saying. Now turn the case the other way.
Mhm.
When the court system is different for women, because why? They cannot work and they can go and get money like they work the whole time. They could work at home, which is a job. That's a tough job.
Mhm.
But at the same time, why is it when the women, just like Angel said, you could have put agreement in place? Well, the housewives don't put an agreement in place.
Mhm.
But why, when they go to court, they can get compensated for that? So why a man that don't put an agreement in place and he did a good deed, why when he go to court, he gets the negative conversation for it?
Mhm.
And what I'm saying is because you come up with a plan from the beginning. Adoption is not a good deed. That's the problem. Well, what is adoption?
Adoption is a good deed.
What is it?
Adoption to get in a marriage and to see the lack of what that child's father's doing and say, you know what, I'm gonna adopt, because guess what? If he died, Angel, let's say this. Say they were married and he died. Guess what? All his kids get some type of Social Security check,
Including her.
and now because he's adopted her, she's a candidate for getting taken care of by the government of the money he has put in Social Security. But if she's not adopted and her dad is a deadbeat, she ain't getting none. So adoption is a good deed and it's beneficial to the family.
Alan, this is what I'm saying. It's a person taking on the responsibility of another
business. It's a business decision too.
Yeah, it is. It's a business decision
too.
But it's still a good. It still falls on the
good deed though, MJ.
It's still a good deed because
it's a person taking responsibility of another human's life.
If that ain't a good deed, I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is. No, it's another person taking responsibility of another person who didn't do the right thing of a human's life.
In most cases, when dads adopt their stepchildren, it's because the biological father
is not doing what he's supposed to do.
It's not doing what he's supposed to do. Exactly. If her father isn't around, then he is the father and took on that role. That is a good.
Tell me this. What would y'all call him if he didn't do nothing for that baby? The dad ain't around, he said, I ain't doing nothing. If he told the mama, hey, you buy that baby food, you buy the clothes, all the money that I bring in this house is for my 2 kids, and that's it. Y'all would call him it don't matter if he taking care of the other 2 kids, y'all would call him a deadbeat man. Am I right?
They would have told Eva not to marry
him because he ain't right, this and that.
You're still making it a conditional decision and shouldn't be that. What do you mean? See, this is hear what I'm saying. This is the mindset that the court system has created. I'm not moving the goalpost because it's in the same goalpost. Because when it is beneficial for the woman, it is a different mindset than when Mary J. Blige's husband divorced her. They crucified him because he went after spousal support.
He was less of a man.
He was less of a man, Alan. The soccer player that just put everything in his mama's name. They crucify him, right?
That joke.
Hold on, wait, Alan. They crucify him. But how many times have we heard women say women have went to court, they have benefited off being in certain positions or benefit off being a wife, getting spousal support and that? How many cases among the millions have we seen where it goes in the woman's favor? Now, any inkling of a man that's on the other side, it is viewed a total different way. It's like saying, like Angel Anastasia said, I'm making it a conditional decision. It shouldn't be that. So what do we say about the women out of wedlock that have the babies and put the man on child support, but the man don't have no visitation, or he got to pay thousands of dollars to get legitimized, and the woman won't give him visitation? Then is that see, You can't have it. You can't have it both ways. It has to be fair.
Hey, they at Burger King. They wanted their way.
Right.
They want their way. So men, be careful. Make sound decisions who you marry.
Right. She said, why shouldn't the child continue to be supported, especially being legal? I'm not saying the child shouldn't be supported.
Yeah, I believe the child should be
I
supported.
think you miss what I'm saying. What I'm saying, I don't think they should group child support in with the adopted child. Now they can make some type of amendment where, like, because she's the oldest, where I'll contribute to her college tuition, or I'll buy some books, or contribute to her dorm, or whatever the case is, or I'll contribute to buying her car.
You know what I'm doing? If I was him, I'm going to find the daddy.
Yeah.
And say, look, you're gonna pay me. I've been foster care the whole time. So you owe me something, homie. You know, right. what I'm saying is, and you know, MJ, we talking junk. If it was us, we'll take care of the child. I know we would. We'd be like, okay, we take it. We just take the good with the good and the bad with the bad. That's just what it is. But at the same time, we just trying to say we don't think that it's fair that she's using that as leverage. You know, I don't think that should be leverage.
You get the children legitimized to gain visitation rights. I agree, visitation be available to the man, but that's not what this is about. No, I was giving an example of how it's lopsided.
Visitation does not, legitimization does not only give you visitation rights. It allows for you to be up on the law of parenting.
Right.
When the mother leaves when she is the only sole
she's the custodial
parent, she can lead a state.
Right.
Without the father's consent.
You're right.
And call it parenting.
Right.
That law of parenting is a law that we look over. So it's not just a visitation.
And that, Alan, and that's what I'm saying. If it was fair,
hey, both y'all parenting right there.
Because think about this, like, I can speak firsthand. They can legally take money out my check, but then I may not legally have rights to the child.
You're no parent, brother. You're not.
So right. So then to get legitimized, though, Anastasia, it takes a long process. It does.
If you're not married.
Huh? Yeah, if you're not married. Yeah, if you're not married. But what I'm saying is, why should I have to do that, Alan?
You shouldn't have to.
If you're legally taking my money,
that's right,
saying this is my child, and I can go to jail, I cannot get CDLs, I can get license suspended, I can get locked up. No, I didn't say you said it was linked to. Oh, that's what Alan said. But
yeah, I said
to solely to visitation. Nah,
I didn't say.
I know you didn't say that, but what I'm saying is, it's not fair across the board. And Anastasia, you know what we're saying is 100% true. The bottom line is the court system is not. I have helped numerous fathers. It's a process. Is it not a process? Don't you have to get legitimized? You have to get legitimized. Sometimes they want you to go into the fatherhood program. I was just at the course today. Is you may be looking at it from as your career, right? What you've done, but from a father standpoint, in the court system, it's a process. I'll tell you mine. I'll tell you one of mine. Trying to get visitation legitimized, the sheriff can serve a notice, and your child's mother can answer the door and say she don't live there. And you can't do nothing about it.
Golly, boy, you gotta be kidding me.
But they can subpoena they can subpoena the father at the job, at
everything, the house, spend your license. See what
License.
they need to start doing when you do. They need to start suspending these women license.
Right.
And then when they get locked up and go to jail, and knowing why they being subpoenaed to go to court.
And
That's
see,
what needs to happen.
Alan, that's why I say it's fair. Just like when the fathers pay child support for a child that's not theirs, and they find out when they're 18 is not theirs. Why the mother don't pay him back?
That's right. The court don't go back and get her money. Because the court ain't made their money. They ain't made their money, bro.
It's a process, but it's your child as well. What I'm saying is, Anastasia, the father shouldn't have to go through that process because the mothers don't. That's all I'm saying. It's personal for me as well. My oldest is legally bound to his father. I help this too. How many mothers are like you, Anastasia, when it comes to that?
You're a unicorn.
Let's see, and that's what I'm saying. It's not
be talking about what's going on down here.
right. It's not fair, man.
Hey man, I know what you've been going through, bro. I've been there. Police been at my house. And you did nothing wrong. You remember that?
Nothing wrong.
Hey, nothing wrong. We like what?
Look, one of my friends going through visitation. He has visitation. Do you know the only way the police would get involved? He has legal visitation. I want you to hear this. Legal.
Mm-hmm.
He has to show up 3 times in a row.
Wow.
And she has to keep him 3 away from him
In a row.
3 times in a row from his legal visitation before the police get involved.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So she could not do it. She could do it twice and then one time do it, then 3 times start back over.
Do you hear me, Alan?
Golly.
Now, mind you, his license has been suspended because he was 2 months behind in child support. Then he got caught driving and he went to jail. Guess to get out of jail, he has to pay a jail amount. But then guess what he has to do to get his license back? Go to child support, up his amount, what they call arrears. He has to pay a certain amount just to get his license back. See, what I'm saying is it's not fair.
It's not. And they know it's not. They bank on women being emotional about the situation, man. And then they get paid off of it. It's a money game. It's a money pit.
It's a money game. And guess who? The women fall for it majority of the time.
Yeah, they know
because
you
leave a decision in an emotional person's hand, and then that's what happens. So all mothers don't have your mindset, Anastasia. I'm just keeping it a buck. You help your so work to pass a bill that would change this. Would you like? I said I want to start some called Fathers First, but that's down the line because of my situation. Fathers are treated last in situations like this. And for the everyday common father that has even the ones that have a middle-class job, it is tough. It is very expensive to get bare minimum legal rights to your child.
Mm-hmm.
But they can turn around and garnish wages, garnish tax returns, infinite amount of things. Suspend license. You can do CDL driving and get your license suspended.
I think the hospital, I think the way to go about that bill is to, at the hospital, when you sign that birth certificate, it is a skeleton of an agreement.
Yeah.
Of course, you shouldn't have visitation to that baby get 2 or 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you shouldn't, because it need bonding time.
Right.
But they should have some type of agreement, visitation rights, legitimate. The child is legitimately yours.
Right. Yep.
Some type of agreement at the hospital during them 3 days at the hospital, that this agreement, and when it's done, it goes to the court and it gets recorded.
Because you know what, bro? Do you know how many men would say, if it don't work out between us, you can take my money on my check for child support. But if the courts would meet me halfway and give me visitation and not put visitation solely in a woman's moods.
That's right.
If they can do that, a lot of men will be like, okay, I'm with, even if we got to take a little bit of the short end of the stick, I'm with that because I get this, no matter how she's feeling.
I get to see my child.
I get to see my child spend it, and
to be honest, I think it should be strict rules. If that man show up and she does not give her that child, she should automatically go to jail.
That's what I'm saying.
See, enough people go to jail, man. Look, they're gonna tighten up.
They're gonna tighten up.
You do it 3 times, we're gonna judge that the father gets sole custody.
Right.
Until we revisit it. See,
right.
If you start holding people accountable. Even the women be like, man, we ain't going to court. Yeah, we'll
right.
Her.
Right.
But when they know they got the power, man,
That's it. I agree. Some change should take place. I stand on what I said on the current evil situation, though. Hey, we can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
more
in the middle on. I would say that I'm in the middle on that. I just think Eva could have kind of, showed the same compassion he did.
And then how long were they married? I wonder that. How long were they married? Because that plays to me too. If you married 2-3 years and you done went after them, now come on now.
Yeah.
If they married for most of the daughter's life, 10 plus years,
Yeah, well, that's his child.
You know,
But, you know, I just think, man, compassion, show mercy if mercy
Right.
was given, man.
Right.
You know, that's
Especially, I think she makes the most money out of them too.
man, you know, hey, when they got the power, bro, they gonna suck you dry.
Yeah,
You gotta be careful who you marry.
that's true.
Be careful who you marry, man.
I'm gonna teach a class on this stuff, but I can tell
But
you what.
be careful who you marry. It's very important. You never know, man, bro.
Right,
No.
right.
Yeah.
We done went way over. We appreciate everybody joining us for the Lineage Podcast. Appreciate First Nurse Kimberly Reese giving us keep your mental health. Please keep that serious. It is something that we drop in our community. Once again, book a tour, buy the book, get a shirt, do the whole 9.
Yeah, man, we're gonna expand this tour. We might be
Yeah,
taking some folks from Atlanta to Selma in a minute.
Yeah, I agree, Anastasia. I agree.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right.
you know, we're
We
gonna
trying
have
to do that.
we might be opening it up. If you're from Atlanta, we're gonna take you down there ourselves. So you know, just watch out for that information in the future.
Yeah, we're gonna give you the real Reese experience.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So you'll get the full experience. So
Mhm.
we really gonna implement that. So we appreciate everybody. We'll see y'all next Thursday. Once again, rest in peace to the Bishop Don Thomas. We have a celebration of his life starting tomorrow and Saturday. Please be safe this weekend. We know here in Atlanta what just happened yesterday.
Oh yeah.
A shooter. He started in Midtown and then he ended up in different places. So please be careful out there.
I will say this. I feel like more people should, and people might disagree with me. Ladies, go get you your carrying permit.
Gotta be packed.
Go get you a little small 22. You know, you know, people talk about, you know, gun laws. You know, it is the assault rifles that needs to be talked about.
Right.
But I do believe in protecting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe a lot of women out here by themselves with their family, with their kids, men too. You know, you know if you're responsible or not. Protect yourself, man.
Right.
You know, I guarantee a lot of these criminals who killing these folks, and some folks with the right mind, know how to properly protect themselves. That a lot of this stuff will slow down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't. Police gonna take too long.
And I think
police. You
and
know,
I think all the women, all the people that were involved on the other side were women, if I'm not mistaken.
And these cats, they doing this on purpose.
Cowards.
They sitting back and going after women and children.
That's right. That's
That's
right.
just true.
That's right.
They're being intentional,
Mm-hmm.
man. And
Right.
I'm telling you, get trained.
Jeff, right.
Well, I've been a gun license carrier since I was 21 years old. I've had I've had my pistol since I was that age, and I've upgraded to other guns. So I believe in protecting yourself. You have that right to be a responsible gun owner. And I think we need to teach people that. I agree with assault rifles don't need to be in certain people's hands.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? But I believe women need to have some small in their purses, in your vehicles. So when things do happen, that you have some that get somebody off you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I feel about that. So that's what I feel. You know.
Yeah, I agree, Jeff. Get away and get trained, protect yourself, 100%.
Right.
100%. So we'll see y'all next week. We appreciate y'all for joining us. Please be safe this weekend and hug your loved ones. We'll see y'all next week.